6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go, everybody. What is up this wonderful Wednesday? You may be wondering, like, why is Rebecca here? Where is our main man, Brock? Well, I know quite a few of you guys on here have children, and Brock is at Disney World with the early access, trying to get the children into the park. We went over on Monday night and we saw him. They were having a fantastic time swimming like little fish over there. But he asked me to lead today. So here I am. I am leading. And I'm super excited about today because you guys have actually seen today's guest on a previous Figure It Out Friday. I think you were on a Figure It Out Friday, weren't you, Kendra?
I was, yes.
Yes. And so she's such a dynamic powerhouse. And you guys, she has this book called Embrace, Empower, Evolve. And it really shares her journey of peeling back those layers of perfectionism and self doubt, something that every single one of us suffer from time to time. And I just kind of want to turn the floor over to you, Kendra, and let you kind of share what your story in peeling back those layers of perfectionism and self doubt. How did you overcome that? And today you speak about empowerment, and that's exactly what you help other people do. And so I just kind of want you to take it from there. And welcome.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am too excited. We missed Brock, but again, when he reached out. He was like, "Can you and Rebecca?" And I'm like, "We got this. Like, we got it. Just go be a dad." And our topic today, I'm hoping that we'll get to see each other more over the months ahead, and even maybe at the big event in January in Nashville, which is where I'm from. So I hope that I will get to meet some of you face to face. But in our conversation, he said, what's a big topic that you're working on right now? And as Rebecca said, and part of empowerment, part of peeling back the layers, part of the vulnerability is getting raw and real with ourselves, but in our circles where we feel most safe. And so, a big topic that I work with people, and I hear a lot, whether it's through my webinar series or coaching or just friends, my women's groups, whatever, is hey, burnout. That word seems to just be on everybody's lips right now and on topic. And I think it's because we are taught as salespeople to grind, to go, to push down those feelings, to ignore the self care until you reach the level of, hey, I've arrived. And everybody's level of arrival is somewhere different. Maybe it's one sale a month, maybe it's 10 sales a month, maybe it's 100 sales a month, or whatever arena that you're in. And so we burn and we churn and we go and we're living up to other people's expectations and, more importantly, other people's labels that are placed on us that you should be doing this, or if you're not doing this, you're failing, or you're not clicking on all cylinders. So today I really want to unpack that for the next 15 or 20 minutes, about how do we remove burnout from our life. And for me personally, I will tell you, I never really even knew what that word meant because of that burn and churn and that chase, if you will. And so if and when you read the book, or if you hear me talk or follow me on social, you'll know that my husband identified we had an issue. It was called Kendra works too much. And when I was confronted with that, I was like, no, I'm fine. I just am working. I'm taking care of our family. And again, ignoring all the signs of unhappy, unhealthy, overweight, people pleaser, burning the candle at both ends, spending money I didn't have to live up to the Joneses. And so I kind of fell flat on my face, which some of you may be there now or feeling like you're headed there. And at that point, I had to say, okay, this is real. Burnout is legit. And I see a lot of women, and we are willing to go there usually faster than men. But for you guys on here, burnout is real for you too, right? You are head of household. Oh, I have to be, I have to be the man of the house. I have to bring home the bacon and fried up in the pan. If you're a single woman, you're saying the same thing, right? Bring home the bacon fried up in a pan. And yes, Brock just posted, I'm fine. That was one of my favorite sayings. How are you? I'm fine. Now, that word, if I could just use this word and not be disrespected, it pisses me off. I don't like when somebody says, I'm fine, because let me just assure you, I'm fine could be, I'm fine, irritable, at my wits' end, or I'm fine, I'm really good. But I think most of us live our life in a better place than just fine, right? We're achievers, we're high producers, we're playing at a bigger level. And so I like when somebody says, how you doing? I'm like, I'm amazing, or I'm tired, or you know what, I'm on my last nerve today, or I have one nerve left and you're bouncing on top of it at extra speed, or whatever. So um, I just share all that to say we all hit the wall at some point in time. And so, really, what I want to talk about today is how do we avoid that? And step number one, I think I've heard my minister say this for 20 years, and I finally have really embraced and accepted. But when you look at your calendar, or you look at your checkbook or your credit card, you will see where you're spending your time, your money, and your energy. And something in there is probably forcing you to burn out. So, whether that is keeping up with the Joneses, whether that is burning the candle at both ends, whether that is taking care of an elderly parent, or, overachiever syndrome or perfection or whatever. And so, I think it all starts with why. What is your why? Why do you do what you do? And I think when we identify the why, we're more inclined to say no. And the biggest thing I will tell you this morning to avoid burnout is no is a complete sentence. Okay. No is a complete sentence. It's not no because, it's no and then, it's no and soon. It's just no. And I read a book many years ago that said when we say no, but, and we follow it up with an excuse or an example or a testimonial or whatever you're following up with, it's you convincing yourself that it's okay to say no. Most people on the other side of your no is like, okay, it's just no. Maybe it's no, not right now. Maybe it's no, not never, but we don't owe anybody that explanation. So, number one step for avoiding burnout is assess your situation and figure out your why. What is your why? Is it to provide for my family? Is it to win an accolade? Is it to find peace? Is it to change the planet? Is it to retire? I don't really know what your why is, but let me assure you, it will change 5, 10, 20, 100 times in your lifetime. And I don't think we go back to our why enough to figure out what that burnout is. So, this is your empowerment talk today that says it is okay for your why to change. Okay. My first why was I got to put food on the table. My husband lost his job. It was do or die for us. We didn't want to go backwards. That was my first why, survival. Right. The second step of my why became because I want it. Luxury. I wanted a nicer car. I wanted a nicer house. There's nothing wrong with that. That was the season of my why. Okay. And then I got all that stuff and was like, this doesn't make me happy. I'm not here to enjoy it. Right. And so then I started releasing things out of my life, and my why transitioned to pay it forward. And that's where I am right now. And I say my why is luxury. I don't live in a big house. I live in a very simple house. I drive an older car that's paid for. But my why is to pay it forward. If I can talk to however many of you are here this morning, 33, and two of you come out of here and you're like, oh, that was life changing for me, then I'm living in luxury, right? There were so many people that helped me get out of my burnout. and out of my ditch, as I used to say. I've got to get out of this ditch because that's what I felt like. I was digging a hole in a ditch and I was just going further down. But there were people that reached down in that ditch and said, here's how you do it. Get some help. Here's some steps that will work. It's okay to say no. All of the things that I'm sharing with you, I didn't create those things. People gave me those gifts. And so now my why is to pay that forward, right? I don't need an accolade. I don't need a plaque. I went through that season too. If some of you are chasing a number one status in your company, it's okay. It's okay. That's where you are right now. You don't be there forever. Okay. So, identifying our why, figuring out the season you're in, and accepting the fact that your why will and may change yearly, may change each decade. It's up to you. Okay. That's my number one goal I want you to embrace today. Um, Rosemary, thank you for sharing that. It's not super easy to be vulnerable to say, hey, I I have to help take care of myself. I have to do this, right? Brock's first why, his was seasonal, right? It changed based on the timeline of his life path. Exactly. Tracy says this is how a lot of us were trained to go up the ladder for happiness and success, and then we burned out. You're exactly right. It was you can't stop until you've got your end all be all, whether that's a financial goal or a plaque on the wall. I can honestly tell you that in my sales career in real estate, there was a 10-year span that I got the top producer monthly award every month but 7 months for 10 years. And I got this really useless plaque and I lined the entire wall of my office like a border, if you will. And when I left real estate, where do you guys think those plaques are? Put it in the chat. I'll come back to it. I'll tell you where those plaques are if you guys can guess. And so that was my why for a while, right? And so I chased that and I chased that. And I finally went to the company and said, I don't have any room for another plaque. That's not my why. I don't chase it for the plaque. I'm chasing it to feed my family. Okay. Yes, all of you are right. They went in boxes in my attic. And when I sold my big house, they all went in the trash dumpster. And I literally saved the most precious awards to me. And I have a curio cabinet in my office that I was Realtor of the Year. That was a very prestigious award for me. I was president of our association. That was a very prestigious award for me. A couple other big sales awards and acknowledgments. But other than that, the plaques, they're gone. They're absolutely gone. All right. So step one is assessing where we are. I'm going to give you 3 steps today. The next one is mindset. This whole podcast is about mindset, and I really want you to do a gut check every morning as to where is my mind. I truly believe we live in 2 mindsets. It's either scarcity or abundance. It's very easy to go to scarcity if you are financially trapped or you're in a such situation that you don't want to be in, but you haven't gotten out of it yet, or you're in survival. That is a scarcity mindset. And we have all been there. And probably at some point in our time, we'll go back there for a temporary season, right? So scarcity is I'm stuck. I don't know how to get out. I know what to do, but I don't know where to start. What's the first step? If maybe you don't have a system in place, if you hear me speak very often, you will know that every single thing I do is a system and I can follow a plan really easy. Give me a checklist and I can master that bad boy. Put me on my own. I'm like a squirrel chaser. I can chase every squirrel in the yard without a plan. Right. And when I don't have a plan, I am in scarcity. Oh my gosh, what do I do next? What if I fall on my face? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I forget to do this? What if I don't write this down? That's scarcity for me. Okay. I want to live an abundance mindset 90% of the time. That's my goal. And so I will just challenge you. For me, abundance mindset comes every morning when my conscience wakes up. I go into gratitude. It's very hard to be in scarcity when you're grateful and you're in a gratitude mindset. So before my feet hit the floor, I wake up and instantly I'm grateful for something. This morning, I was really, really grateful that I woke up before the alarm because if you are like me, the annoyance of an alarm waking me up just irritates the snots out of me. And so I'd rather wake up on my own. It was 15 minutes early. I used to be mad at that. Now I love that. about myself. I can wake up before the alarm, right? So that it's simple. Gratitude. I woke up, I'm already in a good mind space that I'm not irritated, right? I'm not waking up sassy and salty and irritated when I'm in gratitude. Okay. So mindset, we're going to acknowledge our why. Then we're going to go into why set, and I'm going to give you step number 3. There's actually 10 steps to this. And so hopefully at some point in time, I'll come back and give you some more of them. But the third step in this process of avoiding burnout is create a morning routine. Create a morning routine. We've all heard it, the perfect day, the time blocking, the whatever. The morning can either start as a battle or a victory for me, right? Back to mindset. If I wake up late, I'm not in a good space, I'm rushing around like a chicken with my head cut off, I'm already in a deficit to start my day, right? And so I am in my office. This is my sanctuary. You can see a lot of biblical things, and it's just my happy space. Find a place that makes you happy. In front of me, I have this big fluffy chair and this fabulous soft blanket, and there's a table beside it, and those are where my books and my morning activity starts. I get 1 cup of coffee a day. I love coffee, but I have to limit myself. So I go get up, gratitude before my feet hit the floor, go to the coffee pot, take my vitamins, get my coffee, and come to this space. It just makes me happy, right? And then I go through my routine. So my routine is I told you gratitude when I hit the ground. The first thing I do every morning is I post scripture on social media. So if you follow me, I post a Bible verse on Facebook, and then I put my phone away. The reason that started, just so you guys know, is during COVID, I spiraled, right? I was not around people. I was not happy. I was scared. There was so much information coming at us. And I was like, you know what? Every time I open social media, it's negative and it's nasty. And for me, that is a fun place for me to go. I like to see kids hitting home runs and people getting puppies and, Rebecca hosting amazing women events. That is my happy place. I don't go there to be beat up first thing in the morning, right? And so I was like, I'm so tired of the negativity. If I can be somebody's like, oh, there's somebody positive in the planet, then that's who I'm going to be. That started during COVID. I haven't stopped. And just so you guys know, I've had more than one person DM me and say, you know what, you really shouldn't talk about religion or the Bible on social media because it divides your audience. Okay, let's be crystal clear. I'm not here to offend anyone, but it's my page. If you don't like what I post, bye, Felicia, right? Just bye. And so it doesn't hurt my feelings if you don't want to follow me. But that was for me. And I get more thank you for being positive on social media than I'll ever get thank you for not posting your social, what you want on social media. So there you go. So first thing I post that picture, and then I'm done with social media. I read scripture every day. I journal every day. Sometimes the journal is I'm fearful today. I've got to get on a podcast and nobody knows me. What if they don't like me? Or it might be, you know what? I've got this huge opportunity to speak in front of 30 people today, and I just need to change one life. It might be, Lord, I'm trying to manifest a speaking event I want that I'm in the running for. My journal is all over the place. I cannot tell you that every day I post the same thing in my journal because I don't, right? I might read something in scripture. I'm like, whoo, that was a knock upside the head. Okay. So I journal, I read scripture, I journal, and then based on my morning, whatever my schedule is, I might get to go back to social media and have some fun. If I don't go to social media, then oh well, I get it in the morning and I get it at night, and that's it. I don't visit it during the day. So if you follow me, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a great thing she posted today. Just know that's not me. There's somebody that does that for me, okay? I'm a morning person, I'm a night person on social, and then I'm done. Okay. And that's really my morning routine. That's it. I just need to pour something happy in a happy space, get my mindset, and then I can go about my day. So that was my morning this morning. My husband got up, he left to go to a walk. I was sitting in my chair, I was doing my Bible study this morning. He left, I went, got in the shower, and here I am. So my routine is the same. Some people say to me, do you keep that up when you travel? Because you travel a lot. I see on social media. The answer is yes. I am the bag lady when I travel. My carry-on bag has my devotional, my journal, my Bible study. It has everything that I would have here with me because I know that I'm better if I stick to that routine in the morning before I get on stage to speak to somebody else. Makes sense? So I'm going to stop there. I think that gives us three really good steps to start embracing and remembering that who we are and whose we are, and that we get to control our narrative for burnout. And I hope one of those really resonated with you guys today. And if you have a question for me, I'm happy to answer it. Rebecca, I'm going to give it back to you, but I hope that was helpful.
You know what, Kendra? I love that so much. And so if anybody wants to share anything, just raise your hand and then we'll call on you one by one or even drop it in the chat and we will get that over to Kendra. But Kendra, you touched on something that I speak about and that I coach through as well. And it's that letter, that four-letter F-bomb, fine. Fine. Like when your life is really falling apart and you really don't feel good, like a relationship has crumbled, whenever, like you said, your husband tells you, we have a problem and it's called Kendra works too much. And sometimes it's men, a lot of times are never given permission to express themselves and their emotions. We as women tend to emasculate them. And so it may be them coming to you and being like, I feel like I'm not enough for you. And you just chalk it up to being fine. Like, I'm fine, everything is fine. And it's like, no, that's not fine. Like, fine is your body's defense mechanism to keep you in the land of safe and in the land of familiar. Because to change and to gain confidence in anything, it requires you to make a change. And change requires action, and action requires energy. And so, do you have anything like in your morning routine where you do anything that is movement that generates that positive energy? Is it like clapping your hands? Is it standing up? Is it, like what do you do to shift your energy in the morning to let your brain know that you're the boss today?
Yes, I think that's beautiful. For me, I do move my body in most days if I don't have to jump on a podcast at 8:15. Just so you know, I'm usually a 10 o'clock girl start, which is fine. I mean, I'm up early, but from my morning routine, once I leave my chair, then it's move my body.
Yes.
So I walk 2 days a week in a weighted vest. I go to the gym 3 days a week. We played golf yesterday afternoon after we worked out. So we're super active. And I do think movement is medicine. Listen, even if it's a walk around the block, it's 10 jumping jacks, just march in place. Energy is so powerful for moving your body, so powerful, and it creates that energy that we all need to get the bloods flowing and to overcome adversity, right? I am much better if I move my body in the morning. So I have to walk this afternoon in my weighted vest. In Florida, it'll be nice and hot and I'll get a good sweat. But yes, movement is definitely medicine, and I am a big believer in doing those workouts in the morning. So I think that's a good point.
Oh, and Kendra, I'm with you. Like, as far as like the actual work part of my day does not generally start until 10 a.m. or later, just because my morning routine is a little bit similar to yours. Like I do get up in the morning and I call it like a gratitude and a confidence statement. Like I am Rebecca and today I am creating confidence in others' vision, whatever that is. Like thank you, Lord, for letting me see another day. And then I have that cup of coffee. I do a meditation or like a little Bible study, or maybe sometimes it's just one verse and then like a little journaling. I like to do voice notes. I like to do voice notes and then I will move my body and then shower and then we go into work, you know? So I love that I love that you also are so incredibly active. So how did you shoot yesterday on the golf course? Must we ask?
Terrible. I told my
But did
husband,
you
he's
have
like,
fun?
yeah, no, we have fun, but yesterday was not my day. He played pretty good. So I told him today, I said, he's doing something this afternoon after I walk. I said, I'm just going to already be sweaty. I'm going back to the driving range. So I was a pretty avid golfer when we lived in Nashville, or so I thought I was. My husband says it's all in your head because every time we were on the golf course, you were on your phone because you did
Hmm.
not unplug. And so we didn't play for probably 8 or 10 years because he said, I'm not playing golf with you anymore, and walked off the course one day because I'm always like, yeah, just, as I'm on the phone. And
Yeah.
so I had to make a few changes around that. So now that we're semi retired, And living in Florida, we play a lot more. So I took lessons, and yesterday just was not my day, but it's
Yeah,
okay. Back again
that's
today.
all good. That is all good. You know what? I love how you said right there that I was always like, just like one more minute, because I have been so guilty of this. And like I notice it now in others as well, whether it's like whether we're with our kids, whether we're with our coworker, whether we're with our intimate partners, it's like just one more minute. And sometimes that is okay. There is a time and a place for that 100%. But I think that one thing that I would like everyone to take away from this call today is that when you find yourself doing that over and over in the same relationships, just kind of like capture that and then check in with yourself and go back to Kendra's second thing on that mindset, combining one and two, asking yourself, why do I continually put this person on hold? And am I doing it because I'm in a scarcity mindset or I'm in an abundance mindset? And so, like, when you feel yourself, because I'm really big on actionable things, Kendra. And so, like, combining things, like, how do we put this into play? And so, I love how you gave that illustration there. Whenever you find yourself saying, like, just one more second, like, capture that. Ask, why do I continually put this same person on hold? Would I want to continue to be put on hold this many times by this person, always in the same scenario? And am I doing this because I'm in a scarcity mindset or I'm in an abundance mindset? And so, Kendra, shifting the gears between that scarcity mindset to that abundance mindset, because you like to be in abundance 90% of the time and not spend more than 10% of the time in the scarcity mindset. What is your number one go-to like quick tip for shifting that focus and knowing what to do but not doing it, but then getting yourself into action and moving into abundance?
Yeah, that's a great question. And for me, as I said earlier when I was speaking, everything I do is a system. Okay. And so when I feel myself in scarcity, I instantly say, am I following the system? Am I following the process? And almost every single time, honest to goodness, the answer is no, I'm not. And so what happens is, this is a little bit of a plug, but I'm going somewhere with it. I just created a planner for busy people where we can have everything in one. They will come out in October. And that is because I found myself, I'm in this notebook and I'm in this notebook and I've got sticky notes and I'm like, this has never been my plan. Like I'm in a new season. I've only been, in Florida for 2 years pursuing my book and my speaking and all that. And so I haven't gotten the perfect rhythm. So I just created it. Right. So I think I would empower you to say, the minute you go into scarcity, what is missing from your process? Did you, I'll just use most, I think a lot of you are agents like I was. So a lot of listing agents, let's say somebody calls and they're like, no, you have to come list the house today. And I used to be like, oh, I'll print the CMA and run to their house, not taking my laptop, not being best prepared, not asking the questions, not following the intake form. And 90% of the time that would bite me in the butt. I would get there and have, talk about the husband and the husband had passed, or say something about your wife. Oh, we're divorced, I inherited the house. I wasn't following the process. So that's what I would tell you, is have a process for everything you do. Like my morning routine is so process driven that I have to even do it when I'm not home. That's how dialed in it is. So when I found myself, if you looked at my desk right now, you would be like, holy Hannah. Because I'm in training, I'm in planning for my retreat. I'm getting ready to do a huge talk in Tampa at a church for 325 women. So I'm practicing that script every single day. And so I just have piles and I have notebooks and I have this daggum sticky note, which is irritating the snots out of me because it's been there for 3 days and I haven't completed it. And so I'm like, you know what? I got to fix this. So I created a planner that has notes and my workflow and my big rocks and my morning routine, and I'll have it all back together. So I would just tell you, if you're not following your process, that's why you're going into scarcity. I would venture to say, and get back on track. So stop, pause, and say, okay, where am I dropping the ball? And let me go get back on my plan. So Publish the
I
plan,
love that.
and
Yes,
it will
publish the
be. And they'll
Kendra.
go on sale. Yeah, they'll go on sale October 1st. Follow me on social. You'll start seeing the drops. And they're 6-month planners. They're for guys and gals. It doesn't matter. You'll be able to do your personal budget in there. So the pathway to prosperity is in there. I mean, it's all in one book that you
Yes.
can do everything you want to do for 6 months and then save it so you can go back to it with notes from meetings and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just tickled pink. Obviously not my plan, it was God's, but it's come to fruition. So I'm excited.
Well, I am so excited about that. So make sure we give Miss Kendra Cooke a follow on social so that we can be in the know when that planner drops and we can order that. And Kendra, thank you so much for today. I have to tell you, I want you back for 4 through 10. I
Yes.
want to know, I want to know all 10 steps of this burnout. Thank you guys so much for joining today. We're truly, truly thankful. We hope that you got something out of it. And remember, today, when you find yourself in that scarcity mindset, ask yourself the question, what is missing from my process? Am I following the process, or am I just winging it and praying for something to change? We hope you join us tomorrow morning for the one and only Mr. Derek Green with the sauce of life. We hope everyone has a blessed day, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, ladies and gents. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Bye.